full throttle. Yeah, gets up and goes really well, and no traction issues at all. Like, it didn't even trigger the stability control or anything like that. It just gripped up and went.
BMW has updated its sporty little four-door coupe 2 Series for 2025. I'm at the Australian media launch event for a quick first drive, mainly with the top spec M235, but you can get 218 and 220 variants as well. In terms of the design, it's been updated. The main differences are the front end goes for a kind of shark nose pointed theme. The same swooping side profile continues on, but it does stand 20mm longer and 25mm taller than the first generation model. And then around at the back, it's kind of like the front, it's a bit more edgy. New tail lights, with the M235 getting a neat lip spoiler, quad outlet exhaust, and a mild diffuser area all in black. The M235 also gets these 19-inch alloy wheels. They're the same width front and rear with 235/40 tyres. And then taking a look inside, definitely you can see this is the sporty model with the red highlights. Up on the dash you've got BMW's latest twin screen curved display setup system running the latest 9.0 OS. It also features the toggle switch style of gear selector down on the console. And then yeah, these seats are awesome, they really hug you in. You can sit right down low if you want to, but you've still got good comfort and support for long journeys. Up at the back, you've got a reasonable amount of passenger room. I mean, this is a small car, it's not a large luxury sedan or anything, but it's not too bad, and with the big sunroof, it makes it feel more open and spacious as well. Up at the back, you've got 430 litres of boot space, which is the same as the previous model, and that's a decent capacity for this vehicle class. And then under the bonnet, we've got the 2-litre turbo petrol 4-cylinder engine, 233 kilowatts and 400 newton meters, both very strong figures for a 2-litre. BMW claims 0 to 100 in 4.9 seconds. Alright, let's go for a POV test drive and I'll show you what it's like.
So the M235i, we'll just start out in the default driving modes. I won't touch anything, and just see how it behaves as a normal small sedan, or hatchback, or whatever you want to call it. And firstly, yeah, the suspension is quite nice. BMW has definitely changed its suspension philosophy in recent years, because this feels quite comfortable. It's still got that sporty sort of undertone. It's a bit sort of, you got that firmness initially, but it's not at all uncomfortable. Like over these little bumpy bits here, yeah, that's totally fine. You could drive this every day with no problem whatsoever. All of the 2 Series Gran Coupe models come with adaptive suspension as standard, which I think is great. It just increases the versatility of the car. So as you're driving along a road like this, you might want to tension it up a little bit, but then when you're back in the city and just doing the regular day-to-day stuff, then it's going to be comfortable and yeah, absorbent. Down through here it's a little bit bumpy, but yeah, it's still behaving, very committed, very confident. In the wet weather, we've got that all-wheel drive system, so there's no worry about, too much wheel spin or anything like that. It's just gripping up. We might flick it over into the sport mode now and see what that's like. And we can use the paddle shifters as well for, you've actually got an S mode, so automatic, it'll change gear itself, but it's kind of a very aggressive and sporty setting. And then you can use the paddle shifters and flick it over into manual. Very agile. It actually goes really well for, you think 2-litre engine, but 233 kilowatts and 400 newton meters is quite a bit of power and torque, especially. I'll just give you an example of the torque. So 3rd gear at the moment, give it some, it picks up from low RPM. It's got some nice pops and bangs from the exhaust as well. The steering is really agile, like it feels very darty. It wants to, whoops, hit the indicator. It feels very darty and like it wants to change directions, it wants to turn corners. This is definitely a home environment for this vehicle. Pretty quick downshifts. Yeah, they're not super sharp. I thought they'd be a little bit sharper being a dual clutch gearbox, but it's definitely very smooth, and upshifts are pretty much immediate. Yeah, there's just a tiny little bit of a delay on the downshifts. Heaps of mid-range pull. Yeah, this goes really well. We'll just slow down and I'll show you a bit of a standing start. We'll put it back into the S mode actually. Just let it upshift. So this is in the wet, full throttle. Yeah, gets up and goes really well, and no traction issues at all. Like, it didn't even trigger the stability control or anything like that. It just gripped up and went, which is awesome. It means you can go for a nice drive on a road like this, even in wet and greasy, you know, there's a few leaves and stuff on the ground. It's still going to have plenty of grip. Even in this sporty setting, the suspension is still absorbing the bumps quite nicely. It's not throwing me around. It's just giving it a bit of extra bracing and responding to the bumps a bit quicker. Good brakes as well. Got multi-piston calipers on the front. It feels very sure-footed, but still engaging and playful in the steering mainly. You can, yeah, really feel what the front wheels are doing. Yeah, I'm really impressed with that mid-range punch. It just pulls along. 400 Newton meters from a 2-litre engine is actually, it's pretty impressive these days. Like, they're usually around 350, maybe 380, some of them, but 400 is a nice torque figure for this style of engine. So very greasy conditions just here. I can feel the front end just tugging a little bit, not in a bad way, in an engaging way. It's interesting that it does have 7 speeds. So most new models these days have 8. And it would be interesting to see how this would go with an 8-speed. Just an extra ratio might help divide up the torque even more. But this engine has so much torque, as I said, so it kind of pulls through the longer gears really well. Big sweeping bend here in the greasy wet. That's just hanging on very, very well. There is a bit of electronic sound coming through the speakers, I think. It sounds like there is. And I'm sure you can turn that off. I'll check when we come to a stop, and I'll see if I can turn that off. Because it's not that it's that bad actually. It's just I'd probably prefer it without it if you can turn it off. Driver settings. It's usually in this page just here, but it's not letting me touch it while we're driving along. But yeah, definitely a nice sporty exhaust note. You can hear it popping and banging, especially during the upshifts. You back off, there's a bit of a boom, 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 boom. It's definitely got that hot hatch exciting sound to it. Hard on the brakes. Nice grip turning in there, full power. Plenty of grip coming around here, even in the wet. Yeah, it's an exciting hot hatch. It's definitely not just a luxury little sedan. This is a hot hatch, or it feels like it's got hot hatch underpinnings or a personality. But yeah, I'm just so surprised at the torque. It does have excellent mid-range pull. Top end is still pretty good too. It happily revs to 6,000 RPM. Yeah, lots of fun. Okay, I've found a little back road we can try out, just 0 to 100. Obviously I can't do the full quarter-mile, but I'll try a launch control and a normal, just flat on the throttle.